You don't find that offensive?
No,
you don't
no.
find that sexist?
Well, you should have
Listen
seen
to
the
me.
cover they wanted to do.
Get me out!
After years of vicious gossip,
The official explanation was he choked on vomit. Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was.
years of ugly rumors,
It's a passing thing. This is a fact.
And you are Spinal Tap?
Oh, what's going on here? Hi.
now the vicious, ugly truth can be told.
Well, I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
Tap into America!
From the place where eardrums go to die come the living legends of rock and roll lunacy. This is Spinal Tap.
You know, it's like Hemingway said, you know, remember them as they were and write them off.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
And I'm rock sensation Rhian Holmes. Did you not clock?
No, I clocked your sunglasses. I just thought it was because we recorded this on the Sunday after you all having uproarious Halloween parties and me sat alone
Well, that is
on a
part of
Saturday
it.
night carving a
I have some
pumpkin.
sinus things, but I'm trying to create an ambience.
No, I created the same ambience by sitting in my lovely living room with a nice painted portrait, and
You're playing the filmmaker.
I'm playing the role of
As
Marty
you-
DeBerge,
Yeah.
as I do so often in life. No, I wouldn't be Marty. Cast me.
Oh.
I don't have somebody in mind, so you won't be offending me.
You'd be the guy at the Air Force Base who's like, oh, mine's getting a little long.
Yeah. Can you play something that I can dance to? That is the wonderful Fred Ward, who has died.
Rest in power.
Rest in power, Fred Ward. And I've said his name wrong 5 different times. It's definitely Fred Willard. Fred Willard.
I'm sure there's a Fred Ward that's also dead somewhere.
I think there is. Let's check this. Yes, Fred Ward, who is dead.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, from Tremors and Shortcuts. Yes. Rest in peace, Fred Ward. And Fred Willard, for the record, is also dead. Fred Willard. We were deciding what episode to do. You wanted to do a comedy. How did this work?
Mhm.
Did you say you wanted to do a comedy, and then I said, look at this list?
I believe I said, yes, I wanted to do a comedy, and you said, here, revise the list of my favourites and pick one from them. But luckily, this one was a hit for once.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. And then this led to our next project, which is...
Yes.
This is probably... No, it's not. I love all of Christopher Guest's films. Less so for your consideration. We won't be doing that. But it then led to, okay, well, if we're going to do this, let's do Waiting for Guffman as well, which then will lead to, if you like Waiting for Guffman, then in the new year, we can do Best in Show and A Mighty Wind as well.
All right.
But
as you said that, the AC came on, A Mighty Wind.
Best in A Mighty Wind. The what was your knowledge of this? So I gave you a list.
Yes.
Which was the list I made a long time ago of my favorite 80s comedies. Let me get it for you now. 80s.
While you're getting that up, I'll just do a short origin story of my exposure to Spinal Tap. So this is my first watch. However, before this, I had seen the episode of The Goldbergs where they attempt to recreate Spinal Tap with an unknowing Barry Goldberg and his band. But he thinks that it's a real documentary, but Adam is making it into the rockumentary.
Is
and
Barry the
hilarity
child?
ensues.
Is Barry?
Barry's the
Old man.
kooky older brother.
Oh.
The one who's like, I'm amazing at karate and I'm going to be a rock star. So he thinks it's entirely in earnest. And I think now that I've seen them both, I think they nailed it. Premise was good.
Do you prefer Goldbergs or Superstore as two shows that I will never, ever, ever watch?
Come on!
I'm not going to do it. If you're not going to watch Mad Men, a show, arguably the greatest show ever made, which has your guy
Ben Feldman.
Rest
in power.
Oh, please don't be dead.
He's not dead yet. As of the 30th of October 2022, he's not dead.
As of the 30th of October 2022, as was the case when we were recording the early Sondheim episodes, and Angela Lansbury wasn't dead, and Will just kept railing into Angela Lansbury. Oh,
Thank you.
Still makes me laugh. But no, I'm not going to jinx that one. There's somebody else who we mentioned could be dead earlier on. On the Nativity episode, again, this comes out.
Nativity.
Nobody's dead in Nativity, but Lauren, when she was on it, as a weird tangent, went, you know who I think's going to die.
Can that be a segment from now on? Not even. We get Lauren back in every week, and she goes, "Here's who I think's going to die."
Here's the thing. She's still wrong about, spoiler alert, you're hoping that she's wrong forever so that you get the concert that you paid £600 for or whatever it was.
So I am actually not going to that concert. We've sold the tickets, but we don't get the money until after the concert is over.
Who made that deal with you? A man named John Elton. It feels like a scam. These are the movies that you could choose from. Risky Business, Coming to America, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, The Naked Gun, Clue, National Lampoon's Vacation, This is Spinal Tap, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fletch, Ghostbusters, Trading Places, Scrooged, A Fish Called Wanda, Tootsie, Airplane, and Caddyshack. Except we've already done Airplane, we've already done A Fish Called Wanda, we've already done Ferris Bueller. You wanted to do Trading Places.
I wanted to do Ferris Bueller first, but I knew you'd already done that.
We'd already done that. I'd have done it. I can do anything again. But this is good. This is good. Then you wanted to do
What do they say about
Places.
insanity? It's doing the same thing twice, expecting different results.
3 times. Did you know that before, or did you not know that until I
Yes, I did. I did know that before.
I wrote this. Quite possibly the greatest mockumentary ever made. Although there were films of the same ilk before, Reiner and Christopher Guest with This is Spinal Tap invented the modern comedic mockumentary. If I was to put against it, how do I let spelling errors go past? I dedicate my life to this. If I was to put against it, I would have to look to a TV with work such as Ricky Gervais, The Office, or the future films of Christopher Guest and his merry band of merry actors.
Merry band of merry actors. I read that wrong.
With his band of merry actors, with comedy classics like Waiting for Government, Best in Show, and A Mighty Wind. But this effortlessly tight comedic masterpiece and its wacky characters are forever indelible in the world of music and film alike, and will forever be legends of the comedy world. Rhian, that is a lot to read. What did that live up to anything?
I would definitely agree. I went on a bit of a tangent myself. I was trying to remember if I had seen many mockumentaries before. Why is that funny?
Because I think I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
It rhymes with the last thing I just said. What are you going to say? It's an arrogant thing.
What?
RA.
Oh, yes.
When I was in Philadelphia for my semester abroad, I made a mockumentary called RA, which is available to watch. Anybody can watch it. I'm proud of it to this day. Rhian loves it. She doesn't think it should be an hour. She doesn't think it should be the length of Dr. Zhivago.
I think it's a feat of innovation and a testament to how much you can, as a British person coming to America, rope so many people into one project.
You've never watched Ed Wood, have you?
No.
Ed Wood's great.
Rest in power.
Rest in power. He is dead. Ed Wood. But it is great. Probably my favorite Burton movie. And if you want to see what it was like me making RA, it's that. It's me. Everybody loves me.
Okay, so my current ranking of mockumentaries that I've seen goes Pop Star Never Stops Stopping.
Great film.
Surf's Up. Actually, Surf's Up is probably the top. RA, Spinal Tap.
Okay, all right. So you did
RA, Spinal Tap, Surf's Up. You made the top 5.
I know that Surf's Up, you're trying to be ironic, so I'll count that as second. The
I'm absolutely not. It was.
When was the last time you watched Surf's Up?
About 6 months ago.
You're kidding.
No. And
Why
I think
did you
I
watch
hadn't
Surf's
seen
Up?
it. I hadn't seen it as a child, so it was like my like second watch, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible.
Is this for real?
No, genuinely, it's like it's got the same charm as like when animated films do like blooper reels, but that was like just the whole film.
That is very charming. I do enjoy that on Toy Story 2.
And it's just great. I have no notes.
Is it Toy Story 2 when they also insert the blooper from Burt Reynolds
from Bug's Life?
Oh, I was going to say Smokey and the Bandit. No, that's Anchorman. They put a blooper from Smokey and the Bandit in Anchorman. Is it? Oh, Bug's Life.
Is that technically a mockumentary, Anchorman?
I thought you were saying Bug's Life. No, not in any way, shape, or form.
No, yeah.
No, it's not a mockumentary. You just can't remember the film. No, it's not a mockumentary. But you know what is a mockumentary? RA. This was all a trick. I've brought you here. I've brought you here for an RA emergency episode. No, there is a line in Spinal Tap. There is such a fine line between stupid and clever. Perhaps there is no greater statement of intent within a piece than when it comes to This Is Spinal Tap. There is one big thing that sets this apart from so many things. Commitment. I watched over 2 hours of special features on my Blu-ray. There isn't one of them where Christopher Guest or Michael McKean or Harry Shearer or Rob Reiner are there as themselves. Every single interview is as Spinal Tap. There is a full documentary called Return to Spinal Tap where they're going around in character, old English houses going, yeah, we used to live up there. And it's complete commitment. They still talk about Marty DeBerge saying it was a hatchet job. Rob Reiner is back, a full commercial filmmaker after making, I don't know, Misery, When Harry Met Sally, Stand By Me, A Few Good Men, and When Harry Met Sally. Did I say When Harry Met Sally? Mm-hmm. Anyway, yes. Lots of movies. The Princess Bride. Lots of movies. Did I say The Princess Bride?
No.
The Princess Bride. And he still comes back to do a fake interview as Marty DeBerge. There is not a single.
Who wouldn't though?
I can't find a single interview where they talk about this film not as the characters. And it is an absolute commitment to making this feel like a real documentary. My dad asked me, what podcast are you doing tomorrow or whatever? And I said, This Is Spinal Tap. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember them. My dad in 2022 only just found out that Spinal Tap were a fake band.
That is brilliant.
The level, because I get it. If you never watched Waiting for Government, and you didn't watch any of the other things, and yeah, you don't. If you don't know,
I mean,
of course you'd think.
It was definitely a revolutionary medium for the time, and like now you've got more things like Borat, which straddles the line between like real and fake and stupid and clever, and I mean everything on the internet now, like. You see someone behaving strangely online, and their first thought is, "Oh, this is like a character," rather than someone behaving in earnest. Because we live in a post-ironic world. But I think this is what pioneered it for sure.
There'll definitely be examples that I'm too lazy to research, but there had been fake documentaries and there had been that sort of thing, but it had never been really done to this blockbuster level as a comedy.
Yeah.
And not with this improvisational quality, which makes it the film that it is. Again, we'll talk about this with the other movies. The first, I think it took him a year to edit Waiting for Guffman. I mean, it's still a 90-minute movie, which is the blessing grace of it. But hours and hours and hours of improvisation. And you can tell. And as an actor watching it, as a filmmaker watching it, you go, oh, what a brilliant way to make this feel more real. But as I don't want to say layman, that's cruel. Watching it, you go, oh my God, they're a real band. And in 1980, what is this, 1984? I don't ever have anything up. 1980,
it
whatever.
It is 1984.
1984, you don't know any of these people really, and you're away to the races, and beyond maybe I don't know Billy Crystal, but then again he's under my makeup, and you fall for it.
I did not know it was Billy Crystal until I just looked at the cast.
Come on, mime is money. We'll go on to, of course, be Harry in working with Rob Reiner again. So what was your knowledge of Spinal Tap? What did you know?
Well, as I say, I
Goldbergs.
Found out it through the Goldbergs. So I knew the premise. I knew the setup was like, following this spoof rock band. But I didn't. I mean, I had like expectations as to kind of the tropes and the real life instances that they would like play off of. But I didn't expect it to be so overt. But I appreciated it. It's just it's all kind of British boy bands gone global. Like,
did it work? Please don't let this be a downer of an episode. Don't let this be.
It absolutely worked. It's right up my street, and I look forward to all the other ones we've got in store.
I've only got 2 changes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, ominous.
I have several. No, I'm joking. I haven't actually thought of a change. I'm sure I'll think of something, but
I'll think of something.
As of right now, I've got no notes.
No, that's all right. I've put here bring back. See you next week. Yeah, I've put here bring back funny trailers. So in this, there's a trailer where he says, "I'm not going to actually show you anything from the movie because it's not ready yet. Instead, here's footage from a cheese festival, and it's just all the actors in like a Danish fake cheese festival." And then at the end,
I like that. I do.
And then at the end, he goes, "Do you think I should have shown something from the movie?" Bring back funny trailers. There's loads of funny Woody trailers. Woody Allen, of course, just in case anybody was confused. I can't think of any other examples. When the Muppets came out, they it was the same year as Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, your other favourite film that I've shown you, and they re-edited the trailers of Muppets.
Oh my God, that's probably the worst one that I could think to be Muppified.
Let me show you the poster. I want a live reaction. Muppets
Dragon
Tattoo poster.
I'm nerved.
Oh, it's incredible. Oh, I'm just looking at it again.
For
It's
context, for our 12 viewers, I hated the girl with the dragon tattoo and I slated it. I didn't know our friendship could come back from it, but it did.
It did because, well, no, I didn't convince you at all.
No,
So
I
that's
think I did backtrack on a few points because like there were things that I could appreciate about it, but just all in all, just not happy.
It's not. So that's the original poster. And then
Oh,
this
so
is
are we talking the poster or the whole trailer?
They did the whole trailer, but I'm not going to have dead air for 3 minutes whilst you watch the Muppet version of.
Well, why can't you play it? I spliced it in. Do it in post.
Oh, we've not mentioned the name Spinal Tap one. I don't think we've talked a lot, but we haven't actually said the words Spinal Tap once. Are you looking at the poster?
This is no.
This is my new screensaver. There they are.
Why did they change the date?
Because it's the date the Muppets is released.
Oh.
I'm not going to advertise the girl with the dragon tattoo.
I thought that someone just did that for fun. I didn't know it was an actual marketing scheme.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But, listen, there's a lot of people on the internet.
Yeah,
very bored.
And I think you're more surprised that it wasn't me.
I know.
The Muppets 2011 and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo 2011 might be the biggest cross section in my life.
That was a big year in the Carruthers household.
It was a big. Oh, what else happened in 2011? I was still alone. 2011 movies.
Sorry, you were 12. Get over it.
I was 11. Source Code came out. Not a bit. Not Lincoln Lawyer. I like a lot. No, not a great. Oh, The Descendants. I do love The Descendants. Anyway, this is not the Thomas Carruthers 2011.
We need to talk about.
Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I don't think that's in the 2011. Bridesmaids.
Another big movie for Thomas Carruthers. Here, have a 7 and 7. I mean, I'm only thin, so you should be fine. Great film. No, I feel fine. I just really need to get off this white carpet. Spinal Tap, a movie even more quotable. As I love these Robert De Niro at the end of Casino sunglasses that you're wearing.
I'm committed to the bit, like the fine folks in This Is Spinal Tap.
Indeed. This is Spinal Tap. Again, absolute commitment to the bit. They're all incredible musicians, so they're all playing live. These are all songs they wrote. You know, they can all actually play the instruments. They're all actually, that is Michael McKean singing. They're incredibly talented musicians, which we'll find again in A Mighty Wind. But they're incredibly talented musicians and also incredible comedians and also incredible actors. Now, I don't really have a Tom's Big Question hot take about this because he's proven himself 3 times over that he can direct these movies himself. But what do you think the secret sauce is with Rob Reiner directing this? This is a hard question for me to pose to you because you've not seen the other ones yet.
Sorry, I just disassociated after you said secret sauce.
Why am I down? Am I not up to date on the youth? Do they say secret sauce as something else?
No. What was the question? Things that Rob Reiner specifically brings to the table.
Yes.
Let me pause for thought.
These sunglasses are doing you no favors. I saw you check your phone. I saw you Google Rob Reiner.
I'm looking at my notes.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
does it?
I mean, his repertoire is all very. I think he's a great director. His rep is very like eclectic.
His rep's incredibly eclectic, and I think it brings, if nothing else, a filmmaking solidification that perfects this formula before before Christopher Guest takes it even further. It sort of leaves, in a way, nowhere else to go, and yet he manages to go there. He doesn't go there by making it better. He makes them just as good, just with wonderfully different topics. 10-minute stretch. I've really struggled with 10-minute stretch because it's such a.
So did I.
Movie. I have an awful lot of single minutes.
Me too. I've actually got the same amount of each. But I did struggle, like you say, because it's so fragmented, and also on a first watch, it's hard to tell when a sequence is gonna feel complete.
I have some fake ones. I have the album cover discussing to start with. You've got a greased up woman with a dog, and then Ian. Yes, with the Dutch. Yes. They think it's sexist. What's wrong with being sexy?
Sexist, Ian. Sexist.
Oh, right. And then, shoving a gloved hand. You should have seen the album they wanted to do. I assure you, it wasn't a glove. Before we continue with 10-minute stretch, do you have a favorite tap? Do you have a favorite tap member or character beyond tap?
I gotta be honest. I thought you were going to ask me a question as the token woman. Was it really sexist? Do they really put that? No, I think they all complement each other in different ways. I mean, David is obviously a front runner, as the Lennon of the group.
Ooh.
No, I mean, I despise the trope of calling someone the Yoko, because it's all kinds of misinformed. But
that leads me on to my next 10-minute stretch, which is Jeannie as the Yoko of the group.
I know what you're getting at, though. I use that very sparingly, for want of a better word.
I think Yoko's fine. Get Back. Yoko got off scot-free on Get Back. Yoko's fine. Well, no, she's not. People will still say Yoko the group. Have you ever watched 30 Rock, where Jenna Maroney, the Jenna episode where she's the Yoko that breaks up the Wiggles? You should watch 30 Rock. I don't think there is a show more attuned to our sense of humor than 30. It's absolutely phenomenal.
We're discussing the album cover.
Oh yes.
Was it a fake one because there's later a callback? Have you compiled those?
No. I've put here. I put that as a 10-minute stretch is bullshit here. I only have 2 real nominations, which are Stonehenge. Which I have a couple of lines which I'll talk about later, and then Paul Schaefer as Artie Fufkin. An incredible performance. You
wish you could name characters as effectively as Artie Fufkin.
Forget about personal. We have a relationship here, and kick my ass. I'm not asking. I'm telling you this time. Kick my ass. No, really, kick my ass. Incredible shit. However, Stonehenge is the obvious choice. What were your?
Yes.
What ones had you written down?
I had Stonehenge, the opening kind of party sequence where we meet the wonderful electric Fran Drescher.
What's the SNL Merry Christmas Charlie Brown with the New York Actors Community?
Oh God!
It's Al Pacino as Charlie Brown, and it's Philip Seymour Hoffman as Snoopy or whatever. And he goes, I think Christmas is overrated. And then it goes, and the voice as the voice of the parents, the incomparable Fran Drescher, and it's Cecily Strong going, wow, 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 wow. Don't you move that goddamn. Oh, great stuff.
They just don't make them like that no more.
They don't. Did you watch the Jack Harlow the other day?
No.
You're in America. Are you going to watch Saturday Night Live live?
Well, I don't have cable TV.
Oh.
Which is a big draw. But I mean, I watched the skit highlights on YouTube like I always do. So
I did.
You know.
I did this morning. It's
and
a
I watched
hour.
I watched some reruns on the plane over. That was fun.
Oh, which reruns?
They did some in political, and then they impersonated some people.
My favorite thing is watching things out of time. Like it's going to I love I love Oscars intros, and I don't like. I love the jokes that land, but I also love when like Billy Crystal will go. And of course, Jack Nicholson's here, and he made a pretty big splash in About Schmidt. But then again, so did Rupert Dejo. And then everybody laughs, and I have no idea who Rupert Dejo is. Yeah.
I remembered which one I watched. It was a Christmas special, including
with Amy Adams.
It was the night. It was the night after The Grinch Stole Christmas, where he ends up having a threesome with the parents.
With Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
And it made me very uncomfortable because I had a middle seat, and I was worried about being judged by the people next to me.
Right. We have 4 minutes before our first break. I want to do this now. We need to talk about this now. Movies on planes. Why am I self-conscious? Why do I give a shit? Why do I care? I wanted to watch Fire Island. I downloaded it, and I was like, I'm going to look on IMDb if there's any gay sex in this, so that people don't look over at my iPad and think, who's this guy watching full frontal sex on a plane? I couldn't watch Bad Teacher on a goddamn plane when I was a kid going to Florida, because somebody else was watching it, and my mum went to the toilet and saw the scene where Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake are dry humping, and she was like, no, you can't watch that. So I got duped by somebody walking back. We need to change how we watch things on planes.
My question is more like, why are those options there when they know that we're going to be too uncomfortable to watch next to strangers? Like,
there is a part, like, it's just like I wanted to watch Fire Island. I'd got it downloaded. I love Bowen Yang. I love Matt Rogers. I was so excited, and then I was like, oh, I've heard this is quite sexy.
I mean, there is also the novelty of watching somebody else watching something a bit, not even like risque, but strange, and then like squirming about it. So my mum and my sister on a vacation watched Downsizing. And they were just like laughing at all the tiny genitalia.
Yeah, Downsizing was fine. Are you ready for the conversation that Downsizing was pretty good?
I don't think today is the day.
No, it's not today. I don't think it's this year. I don't think I'm ready. I'll wait. I can wait. Alexander Payne. We can wait for you, Alexander Payne. What were your nominations for 10 Minute Stretch?
So the party, and then I also had an honorable mention for the end credits, because it had some of the best, and I mean they're also in lines, lines. But I think a good third to a half of them are in that final 10 minutes, because I think it was just everything that they wanted to include but didn't know how to like keep the pace of the entire thing. Yeah. So they were like, here you go. Here's everything funny we've ever said on the fly.
Yeah, too specific. And improvisation gets a bad rap, but it shouldn't. Editing should get the bad rap. Those, scenes in This Is 40 and those scenes in 40-Year-Old Virgin are not bad are not long and arduous and unfunny because of their improvisation on their self. It's because they haven't been edited down to 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, it makes or breaks the entire thing. And I think it's what like mumblecore has like gotten down to fine art. I know that's not all like improvised usually, but they know how to like have a really succinct and like but still wordy conversation and then like cut to something else. I think that's the other impressive thing about Spinal Tap is they commit to things fully, but the editing doesn't let them. and therefore it doesn't take itself so seriously that it's like you want to laugh, waiting for a laugh. It just immediately cuts away, and I like
there's a lot of times, and I don't know if it's on purpose, but there are hard cuts, and I think it's because they immediately started laughing. Like that, you know, you can't really dust for vomit. How can you not immediately start laughing? And it immediately cuts out. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back. This is a real thing that just happened. I just went into my room. My mother's watching the Strictly Halloween special that has somebody doing the Bette Midler Hocus Pocus, I put a spell on you. And she just said, is this from Rents? I said, no, it's from Hocus.
Who would sing that, you think?
Angel? Yeah. Oh, God, this is our Halloween special. No, we had our Halloween special. You were on for Carrie.
I was indeed.
One of these days I'll force you to watch me a movie. That was in English. We did our 10-minute stretches. We did the arbitrary conversation about who's your favourite Spinal Tap member. Who's
the dumb one again? What's
Nigel Tufnell.
I think actually I want to change my vote to Nigel.
Who is Christopher Guest? You do know this.
I did not. So just
okay, there you go. So you'll be seeing him a lot, especially as Corky St. Clair in Wait for Government. Oh, you want to talk about spirit animals? Tom's weirdly specific favourite parts of the film. Hello, I'm Maria Bergi, the little dog that runs under the car. That was me. One of Britain's loudest bands. We are Spinal Tap from the UK. You must be the USA. Bruno Kirby holding a sign that says Spinal Tap. Billy Crystal as a mime. Mime is money. Any time really that Marty DeBergi is nodding solemnly, but specifically, I know he died in a bizarre gardening accident, and then straight cut to Rob Reiner going, intravenous de Milo. Maybe my favorite gag in the entire film is a review here of Shark Sandwich. It's just 2 words: shit sandwich.
They can't print that. Really?
They can't be real. I can't hear anything. Yeah, but you would if it was playing.
He's stealing all my lines.
Oh, sorry. Right, you go.
Okay. I also had Distinguished Place in Rock History as one of England's loudest bands. Just the lyric. I mean, all the lyrics from Big Bottom are incredible, but specifically, Big Bottom drives me out of my mind. How could I leave this behind?
That is genuinely a Sondheim level lyric.
Honestly.
I'm a big fan of, my baby fits me like a flesh tuxedo. I love to sing it with my pink torpedo.
And the thing is, it's not even a far cry from Fat Bottom Girls, like in terms of the audacity of the lyrics.
I saw her on Monday was my lucky Monday. You know what I mean. I love her each weekday, each velvety cheek day. My love gun's loaded and she's in my sights. Big games waiting there inside her tights. Incredible.
I actually recently watched the Glee episode from season 2 where Puckerman is trying to woo Lauren Zayces and sings Fat Bottom Girls, which shock horror offends her. So he decides to change the song to one he's composed himself called Big Ass Heart. I don't know if you remember this composition.
I don't at all. This is incredible.
Well, you have to revisit the lyrics because they're incredible. When your heart flies coach, it has to buy 2 plane tickets. And that just, I mean, it's all coming together. What day did the Lord invent Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too? That felt like it had Carruthers all over it.
That is good. Yeah.
I don't remember what the preceding line was. Someone insults the guy, and he's like, "I'm just as God made me, sir."
He calls him a twisted old fruit. He calls him a twisted old fruit, and then I'm just as God made me, sir. Great stuff.
The interview where the segment with the guitar tour, could if you were playing it, you can't touch it. Can I look at? No, you can't even look at it. You can't even look at it. The moment when Janine comes back, and just the deadpan over the tannoy. David, smell the glove is here. Hello, Janine.
Janine is great. I think it's not easy to do the Yoko shit because they don't play up that she's Yoko-y. I think worst case scenario is obviously she's the terrible Asian stereotype. Like, thankfully she's her own character.
I think they do, in the sense of like she's very kind of alternative and like holistic, and it's like she got me into meditation, like we do all these retreats together, you know.
Before Jeannie, I was just grabbing whatever transcendental religion was popping through my transom.
Brilliant.
The question is, and I think this is a good temperature check. If me and David did Spinal Tap, did David and Nigel as costumes, would you be happy to be Jeannie? I think the answer is yes.
I would, absolutely.
Jeannie's good. Yeah.
But couples costuming is a sore subject as of this day right now.
Oh my God. This is great. Do you want to do a marriage story podcast again?
Yes, back to back. Faithful viewers, I'll share my plight with you.
You might have mentioned it on the marriage story podcast. I
probably did, but this was when it was in the works, and now the time has come and gone.
Sorry, my can picked up my coaster.
It's a serious moment.
It is.
So I am in the US of A, and I said, wouldn't it be fun? In August, I said this. Wouldn't it be fun to do a couple's costume from across the pond? And then when someone asks, oh, where's your counterpart? You show them a little picture, and then it's like, oh, we've committed to the bit.
And of course, Rhian was going to a Victorian era ball, so it was common for people to ask her, where is your counterpart?
Where is your suitor? But no, so I decided to be Joyce Byers from Stranger Things, and he was going to be my Sheriff Hopper.
Son.
Well, I did have a will with me,
yes,
so
that was good.
I could fall back on this.
I haven't watched Stranger Things in series 1. Do they get together?
Oh, well, I shan't spoil it.
I don't give a
shit. They do get together. They do get together.
That's good. Good. Winona does a... Well, me and my family
does.
just watched the last half hour of Beetlejuice whilst eating our curry. Great movie. As you were.
So it gets to like a day before the function. Ooh. And he said, well, I can't go as Hopper now because the costume didn't arrive. And I saw it through him like a cheap plastic cover. And I said...
A cheap plastic police hat.
Yes. And I said, well, actually, Asa came up with this horrendous zinger. Typically, things don't arrive when you don't order them. And he crumbled and he said, I didn't order it. And I've gone as Bob Ross instead. So now I have a vendetta against the Bob Ross company, which I did before.
People named Bob.
But people named Bob, Halloween, pagans, the Duffer Brothers.
And Winona Ryder, I'm taking her down. I'm taking her down with me. If she can't have anybody, Lily Allen.
Then we can be happy on this holiday. So yeah.
I think the big winner of this story is Asa with that incredible line.
It was great. It was great. I got to hand it to him.
Next up, best line. I've got here Asa with it never will come if you don't order it. Sorry. So it's really specific favorite part of the film. Before you keep stealing all of mine, see, you don't. It's not funny that way, is it? David reading a leaflet. What's the difference between golf and miniature golf? Nigel's face reaction to news of Jeannie coming, and then David. She says she can hear I'm eating too much sugar over the phone. We were at the Isle of that was it, the Isle of Lucy Festival. Great stuff. Welcome National Company of the Wiz and Spinal Tap. Nigel's guitar solos with the violin. I mean, this is the part of the Stonehenge 10-minute stretch, but just little people dancing around Stonehenge is the funniest thing in the entire
I think
film.
also like the suspense of like them being on stage and it's like the piano down the stairs. You know it's coming, but you don't know when, and then just seeing it lower to the ground. Oh my gosh.
I've got here the final combustion of the drummer at the very, very end. Just one more dead drummer. And then,
oh God,
genuinely, I think, what are the hours? Not only one of the great final lines of a film, one of the smartest, dumbest jokes ever. That is just incredibly dumb and incredibly stupid, but incredibly smart. I just think it is. Just
to round off the whole thing. I mean, one of my moments was the initial interview with just the drummer being like, well, you know that this is potentially going to happen, and he's like, well, the law of averages, you know, the law of averages is on my side. I think I used that in conversation a few weeks ago, after that film. I was like, well, the law of averages.
The law of averages.
I'm going to succeed.
Like, obviously, Rob Reiner's not like an actor first. Well, no, that's completely untrue. He got his start acting, so he is quite literally. He actually made a start in the crochet industry. One of my worst quiz questions is Suzanne Crochet became the world's leading crochet Guinness World Book of Records by crocheting 4,000 whatever stitches in how many minutes? Clue, it's a multiple of 10. It's a terrible question.
Is it 40 minutes?
30.
Oh, damn
it, Suzanne Crochet.
Her name's not actually Susan Crochet.
It's not Crochet. But like Rob Reiner's just like complete effacement to never go for a gag, never like try to make Marty funny, just playing it completely deadpan. I think that is quite. It's one of those again.
Yeah, it needed to be because he's like the viewer, but also like he's got to get you on board with like utter like enamorment and like support of these like crazy characters.
It'd be like if I'm trying to think of an example. Oh yeah, R.A. If the character of Abby was on screen.
The thing is, R.A. is actually a really interesting social experiment because a lot of these people aren't acting. They are there appearing as themselves, and they've been forced to sit in a room and watch you perform for an hour and a half. I dread to think how many hours of footage that actually is if you had to condense it to an hour and 20.
No, no, everything's in there. I think you can tell by the fact that it's an hour.
It's 900 hours of footage.
You should be thankful it's not longer. No, where should we go next? Building our set very quickly. Obviously, Stonehenge. Do you have any other nominations?
Oh God. I mean, the Air Force Base with like the just for like soundscaping of like the radio transmitter things happening like just over the music.
Yeah. Wonderful, Fred Willard.
Are we did we condense lines and specific moments? Because I do have a couple more contenders.
Best lines.
Okay,
best lines coming. Best single minute. We'll do best single. No, let's do soundtrack corner now. Let's do soundtrack corner.
Yeah.
We like to be loosey goosey. off the top of your head, do you have like a top song? I mean, all of these are on Spotify, and I do like listen to them like real songs.
I would have to say it's a tie between the beloved Big Bottom and Give Me Some Money.
Yeah.
You know what I want.
The Thamesman.
Give me some money.
Yeah. Or maybe you know what I want. Or maybe you don't.
It just captures like the like kitschy 60s lyrics that actually aren't saying anything at all.
Yeah, and when we hear later, cups and cakes. I come over for cups and cakes with you, and then again, even better, perfectly aping the time period of how they're just artistically just a bullshit band, and they'll just do whatever trend they want. Listen to the Flower People. Listen. Again, all of these songs are credited to guest Rhian McKeith and Terry Shearer. I'm a big. I think Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight as an opening song is not only a great song, but is also an incredible way to open your film. Yes.
Other honorable mentions.
Oh, minute, I've got some lyrics. I also like about Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight is that it plays up on what I have often seen as the worst trend in music, which is the twist that you're talking about a child. It starts off as little girl, it's a great big world, but there's only one of me. And you think it's okay, little girl, sure, infantilizing shit. But this happens multiple times. Claire by Gilbert O'Sullivan. Brotherhood of Man's Save Your Kisses For Me. Save Your Kisses For Me is a whole love song. And then at the end, even though you're only 3. And it's like supposed to be a cute twist that he's talking to his daughter. But this, this takes it further. You're sweet, but you're just 4 feet, and you've still got your baby teeth. You're too young, and I'm too well hung. But tonight I'm gonna rock you. Tonight I'm gonna rock you.
Oh God!
But I just know, cause it's great stuff. Hellhole is just a legitimately great song.
Hellhole, yes. Everyone lends a hand in a hellhole.
Yeah. Don't know what to say in this hellhole.
This is from Sex Farm. Sorry,
Sex Farm. Incredible.
I've just revisited it. Working on a sex farm, hosing down your barn door, bothering your livestock, they know what I need. Working up a hot sweat, crouching in your pea patch, ploughing through your bean field, planting my seed, sex farm woman.
Not too different from Sex Bomb by Tom Jones.
Exactly. This is why it's so brilliant. Works on so many levels. Yes, my patron saint.
I mean, again, going back to Big Button, the bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing. That's what I said. The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand. Or so I have read.
Or so I have read.
Or so I have read might be my favourite part of that lyric.
Yeah. I also really liked the little snippet of Saucy Jack from the Jack the Ripper.
I have that in Tom's good question.
Musical.
Would a rock opera about Jack the Ripper be good? And because it's basically going to be Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, it would.
Somebody's written that. Somebody has pitched that.
Oh yeah. If not, it'll be me.
Yeah, Saucy Jack, you're a naughty one, Saucy Jack. You're a haughty one, Saucy Jack. Nobody addresses that. It's just, you're a mean one, Mr. Green.
Mr. Green. I also enjoyed the classical solo during Heavy Duty after he says that his influences are Bach and Beethoven.
Well, we all know the best part. We all know the best song, which is one of my nominations for single minutes. It's influences of Mozart and Bach, so it's like a Mark piece. He's playing this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of music, and then what's it called? This one's called "Lick My Love Pump." Just incredible shit.
Oh dear.
That was soundtrack, but it has to be Big Pop. All of these
Yeah.
are actually also legitimately good songs.
I know. I didn't realize that they were on Spotify, and now I'm immediately gonna go.
This is
listen to
Spinal
them
Tap,
after this.
1984. It's also got Christmas with the Devil, which is a big hit on my Christmas playlist. It's great stuff. Best single minute. I have here the opening with Marty DeBerge, who is clearly uncomfortable on screen. The moment where he's trying to get comfortable and he folds his arms, immediately puts them down by his side, and immediately puts them. It's great stuff. The first sort of interview where they talk about start talking about the drummers and they start talking about the Thamesmen, and they start, we were both in a skiffle group, which is just straight Beatles origin story. And there was we called ourselves the Originals, but there was another group called the Originals. So we changed
South East
ours.
London, so yeah.
But then they changed theirs, and we thought we'd change back.
I love those initial stretches of like talking about their origins and Pete's spontaneous combustion, where they first talk about like it has happened. It has been known to happen.
I've got it. Here we go. Sorry, these are the fictional and deceased drummers of Spinal Tap. John Stumpy Pepys, who appears in the Give Me Some Money video, who died in a bizarre gardening accident. Eric Stumpy Joe, who choked on his own on vomit of an unknown origin, pardon me.
It wasn't even his vomit.
Yeah,
someone else's.
You can't really dust for vomit. Peter James Bond, who combusted at the Jazz and Blues. Well, it was more of a blues jazz festival.
What his full name was.
Mick Shrimpton, who is the drummer throughout the film,
throughout the discourse, yes,
who exploded on stage. And then throughout the years, there have been others: Joe Mama Besser, Richard Rick Shrimpton, Sammy Stumpy Bateman, Scott Skippy Scuffleton, Chris Popper Cadoo, plus 9 other drummers at various times. All of whom.
No way did they put a Joe Mama joke in the 80s. That is ahead of its time.
It's ahead of its time in every way, shape, or form.
My last single minute, I was going to say, the harmonizing at the graveyard.
Incredible. Hi, well, since my baby left me.
Well,
take it down.
We've got to be in the same key.
Shit. Don't
that is just like
in front of the key.
That is just like mine and my friends' conversations. Like it will just evolve into a bit, usually with like a bad northern accent. My culture is not a costume.
What was that? Was that from the SNL Jack Harlow?
No, it's just a thing people say.
Oh yeah,
because people keep using cultures as costumes.
And then they made Jack Harlow say it, and he can't deliver a joke, so it just sounded like he was being bad.
I need to go watch it now. Asa, you'd like this. Asa asked me today, quite panicked, if being a Greek god for Halloween was cultural appropriation.
Things have gone too far. What's next? You can't wear a sombrero and. No. This is a great question. What's the costume you wish you could wear in, but you can't anymore?
What are you trying to do?
You don't have to.
I'll tell you what's the costume I wish I could wear. Joyce Byers as one of 2 counterparts, but I couldn't. No, I'm kidding.
What if he wore? I'm trying to think of a different David Harbour costume that he could have worn to make it offensive. But
Hellboy.
Yes, he could have gone as Hellboy.
Or in his most recent one, a gritty vigilante Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, they are doing that.
Better watch out. Or is that a different one?
I don't give a shit.
Oh my god, some of the one-liners in it are dire. It's like you're getting coal in your stocking.
Terrible. I have no time. I do have time for a single minute with Bruno Kirby talking about Frank Sinatra. They don't understand life. When you've loved and lost like Frank has, when
you've lived a life that Frank has,
fucking limeys.
They just don't get it.
It is the perfect transition between, you know, people loving Brits and then people loving Frank Sinatra. The demands about the bread, it does disturb me, but I will rise above it. And the little specific...
You can't let it mess you up. You can't let it mess you up. I'm going to do a great show tonight.
The specific bit of the half Oreos that like are clearly another thing that they've demanded, that they've had to bow down to. I will only eat the black bits of the Oreos. Nigel not being able to get back up after he bends down to the floor and crunches up. The amp talk. Now, this is new to you. Did you know that these go to 11 is like the I'll have what she's having of this film?
I didn't, but now that you said it, it does make perfect sense.
That's like the biggest line. People say that all the time. And I think it is in the I think it is in a category of when you watch
iconism,
it's still funny. It's still funny. It still works. Derek's pod not opening during the number heavy duty.
See, the thing is, I get so invested and I'm so on board with like the stories they're trying to tell that I forget sometimes that things are just done for jokes. I was like, oh yeah, he's coming out afterwards.
It's great stuff. The Bath interview with the current drummer. Do you have any fears for your life? Angelica Houston cameo as the set designer for the Stonehenge. Well, this is.
You asked me for 18 inches.
Angelica Houston, what a wonderful woman. I love Angelica Houston. And then in the credits, the Namesake series, I've got Denholm Elliott reading T.S. Eliot, which I would listen to.
So stupid.
What's the modern version of the Namesake series?
Like still reading like the poets.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's no like poet named Ephron or Harbour or Chalamet. Few.
It'd be good if you did like first names instead.
Zendaya. Should we make an ASMR of me reading hip names?
Zendaya.
Sydney
you could have
read a pamphlet to Sydney advertising.
Sydney Lumiere.
Sydney Lumiere. You know his name is Sydney Lumet, not Sydney Lumiere. That would be our guest. Sydney Sweeney can read anything. Sydney Sweeney can read a goddamn phone book.
Oh God.
Anyway, we don't need to go up.
Because we will be here for 4 hours, you and I. You could have Madonna reading
I'm ready.
from the perspective of the Virgin Mary in the Bible.
Have I told you about
a little book called The Bible?
What's that from? The Goldbergs or Superstore?
That's an original.
So you've got no one to blame. Best line. Do you have any other single minute nominations?
I don't, because I want to go into best lines.
That's fine. Let's go back and forth. The authorities said unsolved. Best to leave it.
You can't really dust for vomit. We've had that one, but
yeah. It's like, how much more black could this be? And the answer is none. None more black. Is there? I'm going to do this now. Spotify. Bet you right. Let's bet a £5. If I type,
what am I betting on?
If I type in none more black, is there an artist who is named None More Black? Clearly as a reference to this.
No.
The answer is yes.
No.
They have Dinners for Suckers, Everyday Balloons, Under My Feet. Oh, there's Legwork, and You Suck, but your peanut butter is okay.
How do we know that that's referential to Spinal Tap? That's my question.
None More Black is definitely. Oh, here's one. Is there is there a band called Shark Sandwich on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Fetus Pie, Dog Song, I Hate Life, I Want to Die. I can do this all day. What else? Intravenous DeMilo. Yep, yeah. Torch, Don't Cry Now, Fall to Pieces, My Black Heart. This is great. I can do this all day.
This is an endeavor for after we stop.
I can't think of any more. It's not like we can do this on every episode. What would the Marriage Stories one be? Young hot shit.
Yeah.
What else?
Maybe it's not actually green. I don't know. Sometimes I wear it to sleep. When he's talking about this shirt with the rib X-ray, he's like, "This is what they actually look like on the inside."
But they're not actually green. No, they are actually. They are. This is 1982, for God's sake.
Exactly, it's 1982. Why didn't you have me as Fran Drescher in your radio play? You should have written in a part of
Fran Drescher. I didn't know you had a Fran Drescher. How do you know that? Did you watch The Nanny as a kid?
I just know her.
Or is she in The Goldbergs?
No, I just know. In fact, I think I originally heard an impression of her. I think I heard Sofia Vergara do her on SNL on the Being Quirky show with Zoe Deschanel.
With Zoe.
Quirky.
Zoe Deschanel. Wonderful woman.
A summer camp for pale young boys.
Yeah, that's good. I just love it, David. It's a very lurid cover. Dozens of people spontaneously combust each year. It's just not widely reported.
Not widely reported. They're like fire and ice, and I'm somewhere in the middle, like lukewarm water.
As long as there's, sex and drugs, I can do without the rock and roll.
My last one is the patron saint of quality footwear.
Yeah, that's good. I've got 4. I've saved the best 4 till last. I've always wanted to do a collection of my acoustic numbers with the Royal Philharmonic, as you know.
As you know.
We are not going to do a freewheeling jazz exploration. So when you play on stage, you feel like a preserved moose. And the best line ever said on the screen, well, maybe we can just fix the choreography and keep the dwarf clear so that they won't troll upon it.
Oh no.
What a great film. I'm thinking about what's Waiting for Guffman, and I always say that it's my favorite, but watching this, it's absolutely perfect in every way.
What were your 2 changes then to segue?
I've got to admit, the cricket bat cutaways aren't that funny and don't feel real. They feel like, especially the one where he puts a cricket bat against somebody's head. It feels like they've set up a shot and filmed it. It's the only part that doesn't feel like a documentary, and that annoys me.
I would agree with that, and I think it's either whether it evolved out of an improvisational moment or not. It does feel like, oh, this is a good gag we've got, and we're gonna stretch it. So,
just as funny to just have him say, "You never know when you need a good firm piece of wood in your hands." That is just as funny to have him just have a cricket bat on his desk. And I've also put here the metal detector scene, which is funny, but also doesn't make any sense if he was going to.
Yeah, it's not made of metal. I thought it was going to be like a penis piercing.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. No.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I was really disappointed with Victoria with Jenna Coleman, because I thought Prince Albert was something entirely different. No,
I think I would have a request rather than a change, but to have more fan interactions, because I think that's what sealed the deal in the beginning, where it was like, oh, this feels real. It's like they've captured the essence of the groupie culture.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it would have been funny to include that.
But yeah, they're my only change. changes. I think it's a pretty perfect film.
It's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. Before we take our next break, best specific Halloween costume. I've put here Billy Crystal mime, but people would just think you're a mime, so you'd have to carry around some food.
A sign that says mime is money.
A sign that says mime is money. Or you'd carry around food and then people would just give you, just take the food.
I would like to pitch a specific Halloween costume.
Okay.
The second Smell the Glove album cover, you just dress in all black.
That's pretty good. But you'd have to describe it, and that does infringe on my biggest Halloween annoyance. People with costumes who are too witty and can't be seen to be believed.
Yeah, I mean, I did inadvertently become one of those people yesterday.
Oh no, why? What was
well,
the
I was
costume?
Florence Pugh arriving late to the Venice Film Festival.
Then that's their own
for context. And like
that's
it was
their
a
own
good
fault. If they don't know that, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, it was a good screening process when I was speaking to people, because if they recognized and understood, then I knew off the bat, okay, we're going to be good friends.
And there was a woman with long brunette hair and
dressed in a frilly yellow number, and I said, I'm staying away from you.
Keep away, get away. Don't do. Well, she kept away from you the whole time. Olivia Wilde. Olivia Wilde's going to be in Babylon. I'm very excited for Babylon. Babylon is already come and gone by the time this comes out. Babylon is either the best movie ever or the worst movie ever, and we're all excited about the next thing. All movies are dead, or there's an asteroid.
One can only hope.
Either way, yeah. How do you think my next Halloween will go, Rhian?
What in general?
Yeah, I mean, I know that tomorrow's Halloween. I sat alone, carved a pumpkin, ordered a Chinese. My family were on holiday. I sat alone.
Was this last year?
No, this is yesterday and Friday.
But that doesn't count because it's not Halloween yet. You are the master of your own destiny.
Not really. What am I going to do? Go out alone, dressed as the Joker?
Oh my god!
The worst vibe in the world. A man alone dressed as the Joker. No,
because there's been I've been inundated
I'm
with
Olivia
Jokers.
Wilde from the press tour for Don't Worry, Darling. Tom, you're in Wakefield dressed in drag alone. It's not going to go down well. No,
You should do a Facebook Live.
With our 42 followers. Who consist of 10 of the guests.
Well, or do a Facebook Live from your personal account and just do some spooky numbers.
Who would watch it? All the people at parties? You wouldn't. You'd be too busy Florence Pughing. You'd be too busy pooing.
I like that we can keep it classy on this pod. No, actually, all of the celebration was done this weekend because Halloween day is actually Monday.
Yeah, that's true. Who knows? Maybe no,
but not an issue for our unemployed friend.
Yeah, this is like literally the worst time in my life for the unemployed friend meme to become a meme. Like, this is all over Twitter.
Your unemployed friend at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. It's you in Wakefield watching.
It's me in Wakefield. It's me in Wakefield, sat waiting for my 4th podcast in a row to be cancelled. Will cancelled one because his friend.
No.
David had to cancel one because he's in a production. You cancelled one. Who else cancelled one? I can't remember.
I didn't cancel. I postponed, and I'm here.
No. Everybody's postponed. Everybody's postponed. The name of my new one-act play. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk about a few fun facts and talk about some questions and probably talk about a litany of misery some more. I'm Thomas Carruthers. No, we're not starting. This is the 3rd fact. Oh, God. A few fun facts, Rhian, wouldn't you like to know? You're in the metal detector scene. The background voices making the announcements over the PA are the band members without their English accents.
You mean to tell me that they're not British?
Who are you, my father? When asked on Twitter how Derek came to be wearing a Shrewsbury Town Football Club jersey, Harry Shearer said, well, he's American. I was going to do Derek's voice. That was me hanging around London and seeing a selection of football jerseys at a corner stand. The Shrewsbury one caught my eye since Derek dreamed of, like Sir Elton, buying a team but couldn't afford a Premier League one. Rob Reiner was going to be one of the band members. He ended up directing after Harry Shearer said he didn't look good in spandex. It's just rude.
I know. Oh, sorry. How is someone with the name Harry Shearer not British?
Harry Shearer, Christopher Guest. Well, no, Christopher Guest.
Harry Shearer.
You know that Christopher Guest is like a lord.
Lord Christopher Guest.
He's the 5th Baron Harden Guest. He's American. He's American.
Hard-on Guest.
Oh, you.
Hello.
Succeeded by his seat was abolished under the House of Lords Act 1999.
That's just perfect.
Do you know who he married in 1984? Good year for Christopher Guest. Makes Spinal Tap and also marries Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wow.
And they're still together to this day.
That's sweet.
It is wonderful. Yeah, it's very, very
Have
good.
you seen the compilation of all the time she says trauma?
Trauma.
Trauma.
This is a movie about trauma.
Generational trauma.
Have you seen the video where she goes, and I've seen the trauma video, but we also made a fuck ton of money, so joke's on you. I love Jamie Lee Curtis with all my heart, but these past 2 Halloween movies have killed me inside. That's beside the point. The name of the character, Sir Dennis Eaton Hogg, is a reference to Sir Michael Lindsay Hogg, who pioneered video production for the Beatles. Now, you haven't seen Get Back. Are you a Beatles fan?
It's interesting you ask, because
I'm not.
I'm a Beatle myself. No. Aren't we all, really, at the end of the day?
No.
Aren't we all the walrus? No. I hadn't really actively listened to them, but then Asa was like, well, I think that you would be a fan if you actually gave it a go. So they made me a playlist of what they consider to be the best Beatles and Queen songs in a playlist called Queetlemania. And I mean, now on a real listen, I mean, I have obviously heard pretty much all of them because there's such a monolith in the UK popular culture.
Mm.
I would never go as far as to say that I'd be a stan, but obviously the music is just like the soundtrack to everyone's life, you know.
I'm just gonna send you my Beatles playlist. That's what you need. Sorted. There you go. What have we got here?
You sent me. He's in this photo.
Harry Shearer, Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, and Michael McKean were given $10,000 to write a script. They made a 20-minute version of the film to better demonstrate the improvisation they had in mind. Several scenes from the demo are in the finished movie. I've got one fun fact made for you, and I've got one fun fact about Norwegian film released. What do you want first?
Let's go Norwegian.
In Norway, the film was released direct to video over 2 years later. The title was changed to Help, We Are in the Pop Business. A spin on the Norwegian title for Airplane, Help, We Are Flying. The poster showed a guitar.
Sorry, I immediately need like a carry-on style thing
Series, yeah.
where we take every popular movie and we put it into the Norwegian ad packaging.
I don't have my Blu-ray collection with me. I love playing the random game of grabbing one. I'm going to
get one of your lists up and then I will give you a help.
Carruthers.
Ideally something that I have seen.
Okay, Carruthers, Leggetter, and Whoever. Pick a decade.
90s.
Pick a number.
17.
Okay. So this list has 15 movies in it.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, you did. That took you a long time to realise that 17. Okay. Okay, it's Rushmore. Have you seen Rushmore?
No, but I think this will make it funnier. Okay. Help! We are president.
Okay, so it's nothing about. I knew you would. This is excellent. This is a film
We are
about
founding fathers.
This is a film about Jason Schwartzman falling in love with his teacher, directed by Wes Anderson, 1998, and ending up in a love triangle with Bill Murray, who's another person.
This is a statutory sexual offense.
They don't do anything. This isn't Licorice Pizza. Great movie. Here we go. This is the game. You guess the film. Help! They're on a boat.
Titanic.
Yeah, okay, bad game. Help! We're gangsters.
Straight out cold.
Goodfellas.
No, I don't like this version. Let's look back.
Help! My wife is Laura Linney.
I don't know.
I'll give another clue. Help! My wife is Laura Linney, and she wants to keep selling me things inside of my reality. Help! Same film. Help! I fell in love with Natasha McClone on a beach, and then there was a little bit of rain. Help! I'm trapped inside of a town, and they keep making things up, so I stay in the town. Help! I'm afraid of the sea.
Castaway. No.
No.
That's not why I couldn't leave.
No, that's not why I couldn't leave. Help! I'm trying to be a serious actor.
The Room.
This is all Ed Harris's plan.
Goodfellas.
The Truman Show, really.
Wait, that was all the same movie?
That was all The Truman Show.
Okay, now I get it, that the town is making things up.
You didn't get it from Help! My Wife is Laura Linney?
No!
Mick Fleetwood played with the Tap. They were at Glastonbury in 2009.
Wow, 2009, great. Actually, no, bad year for celebrities because a lot of big artists has died.
In 2009?
MJ?
Oh.
Prince?
No, 2016. Michael Jackson died.
No, I swear more people died in 2009. When did Amy Winehouse die?
You know, when you Google people who died in 2009, lots of people are going to come up, Rhian.
No, but I'm thinking of specific people.
2009 dead people.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, Ricardo. Don't mock Ricardo Montalban. Ricardo Montalban is great.
Michael Jackson.
Farrah Fawcett died in like the same. Oh, Sir Patrick Swayze died.
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy. Oh, that's actually sad. I mean, they're all sad. Blah blah blah. Natasha Richardson.
Yeah.
David Carradine. John Hughes. B. Arthur. This is really sad. We need to stop this game.
Who am I thinking of that died?
Are you thinking of 2016?
Oh,
Alan Rickman.
Bowie, Prince.
Alan Rickman, Terry Wogan, Prince. Terry Wogan, the most influential. Yeah, no, they played with at Glastonbury 2009. Jamie Cullum played a song with them, and Jarvis Cocker came on to play Big Bottom.
Oh, incredible.
Jarvis
Cocker, I only know through like his stupid cameos in other movies.
And by that you mean his one cameo in Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox and Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Oh yes, he is in the Goblet
when
of
they're
Fire
on
with
the
Radiohead,
walk band, the Weird Sisters.
Yeah, with
Incredible.
Tom York of Radiohead. Yeah, put a pin in that.
Dance around like an angry troll, who learned to rock and roll, and then like a crazy elf, dancing by himself. You'd love it.
I would love it.
That should be an honourable mention for soundtrack corner this episode.
That's the reason we can't do the Harry Potter movies, because that's the reason. No, because when it comes to Goblet of Fire, I would just talk about that for an hour. Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher of Oasis once went to see Spinal Tap live. When they performed, however, they did a opening act as the Folksmen, which is their folk group from A Mighty Wind. 2003. Liam was bored with the folk music, so his brother explained that the Folksmen were played by the same actors. Liam became distraught as he realised Spinal Tap was not a real band.
Liam became distraught. I love that as a
sentence. You're not going to like it as much as you're going to love this. You know, I said I had a fact for you.
Yeah.
It's about Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling, your favorite person in 2007.
Oh yes, yeah.
Let's put it, author of the Harry Potter book series, cited the movie as an inspiration for the unfortunate events that cause all Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers at Hogwarts to leave the job before completing a school year. For our audio listeners, Rhian Holmes has left. It's probably because, above all things, she needs time to think of a statement about J.K. Rowling that isn't too positive. But
I don't remember a scene where Remus Lupin spontaneously combusted. Do you?
No, maybe it was in the Ink.
The woman's a hack.
Yeah, maybe it was in one of the Robert Galbraith novels. Me and my friend Will love to say the phrase
Robert Galbraith. And there's no way to mispronounce it because he's not real.
He's not real. Ooh.
What?
I don't know. It was supposed to be like baiting her to get angry about terrible things.
Or did I misgender you, Joanne?
Yeah, did I misgender you, Mr. Galbraith?
No one's even thought to have that conversation. She's so worried about people posing as women. She's
no.
What's this in Waterstones?
I have no problem if I want people to enjoy my spy novels that everybody definitely knows is me. Do you remember when people didn't think, like, there was a whole thing about after the first one, is it her? Did you ever read The Casual Vegans?
No, I did not. And also, like, the point that she made about using a pen name, so because the fears of, like, people not wanting to buy books from a female author, that is a very legitimate qualm to have in the noughties. But she then went on to be the most famed, wealthy author of all time.
You mean to tell me Galbraith before she wrote Robert Galbraith after Harry Potter?
No, I know, but I'm talking about reducing the name Joanne Rowling to
JK.
JK.
What does
because
the K
the publishers
stand for?
Kathleen. You can tell that I had an extensive knowledge.
Yeah, you do. If there's something to be said from this,
something
podcast,
never leaves you.
You love.
Loved. This is why it's so hard for me to talk about, even though I find a way to in every conversation. Yeah, like that was a legitimate, like, you know, adversity. But then she went on to make all this money and then was like, well, you know, they're just going to think of me as the woman that wrote Harry Potter. No, they're going to think of you as an author
as the woman who wrote The Casual Vacancy.
But like, surely, you know, if you market something as like, oh yeah, it's the woman who wrote Harry Potter, but like it's for adults, then people would be like, oh, interesting. Let's see if she's any good, rather than, oh, I'm going to take on this male unknown alias that no one actually cares about.
Also, Camoran Strike. It's a real name. That's more wacky than some of the names in your fantasy books.
It's actually an anagram. You twist the letters around, and it's you know, cisgender.
These are some of the names. These are some of the names in The Casual Vacancy: Miles Mullison, Crystal Whedon. These are worse than...
No, I think you're still on the drummers from Spinal Tap article. Little segue back.
Barry Fairbrother.
Come on now.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Let's drop this while
Let's drop this.
Not hot.
Hot. Tom's big question. Do you prefer the Thamesmen, the Flower People, or Spinal Tap? Spinal Tap.
I mean, yeah. I prefer the originals.
Yeah, there's a little B-side. I don't know if you've heard of it. Cups and Cakes. Do you prefer Pop, Look and Listen or Jamboree Pop?
Pop, Look and Listen.
The credits state that the band Spinal Tap is fictional and add, there's no Easter Bunny either. Do you think anybody watched this? Do you think anybody watched this and found out about the Easter Bunny that way?
Your dad.
You know my story about my sister, the one we talk about. No,
before her demise.
At the hands of
No, as of the 30th of October 2022, Tom's sister is alive.
Oh, rest in power. Her and Fred Willard. You know what's really sad is that when, you know, if Christopher Guest died, is that I do a lovely Instagram you know, memorial, and you'd post it. My sister died. Don't know. Come up with a few words. She never made a mockumentary though, did she?
No. I think you'd read something at her funeral about how she refused to watch It's a Wonderful Life because it's in black and white.
She did hate It's a Wonderful Life. What she never realised from that film. And then I pause, look at the coffin. And you never will now.
It actually was a wonderful life.
Oops. Rhian, I think I know the answer. Are you excited for the other Christopher Guest movies?
I very much am. I think this is a really strong medium, and like I say, I'm excited to see how it's flourished and taken on new forms since.
I'm kind of blowing our load. Best in Show is the one that everybody thinks is the best. I disagree. I think Waiting for Government is the best. I think Waiting for Government is the best. Maybe it's just because I love the character of Corky St. Clair, and maybe it's because it's about an Amtram theatre company.
Yes, I think this is going to speak to me in ways that the others have not so far.
Catherine O'Hara's in it. Do you love Schitt's Creek?
I've seen like the first, I want to say 6 episodes.
So that means no, or else you would have watched
grabbed
more.
Me. Yeah.
Eugene
Levy. She's fine. Oh yes. Very good.
Middling reactions on Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
What?
Rhian, please. It's my Eugene Levy.
That's good.
Thank you.
Is Catherine O'Hara the mother?
Yes, she is. Wasn't great.
And don't know.
You're not allowed to do an impression. This is my firm and fast. You know my rules about impressionizing.
You know my rules about impressions.
No, you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to do impressions.
You're not allowed to do it.
You know my rules about impressions. Have you seen me belittle somebody before about doing? I don't know who would do it. I've seen
you belittle everyone every day.
What's the worst belittling I've ever done? This is the end of the episode.
We don't have time for that list.
Well, I'm trying to think myself. What
the one that sprang to mind just now,
Oh, this
I
is
realized in retrospect you actually won the day. And it was when me and Lauren were bonding over our love of a certain cancelled artist's covers of Billy Joel, to which you said, that is shite. That is the worst music I've ever heard. Lo and behold, a year and a half later, said artist is currently going on trial for sexual assault.
This is wonderful.
Aged like fine wine.
And you were talking about Kevin Spacey's covers of John Lennon.
No.
No, you weren't. Yes, that was good. That was a good day. That is a great moment. And their terrible Randy Newman cover. Awful Randy Newman cover. I remember the exact phrase you said, which was, but it really suits his husky voice.
I don't need that.
Oh, it's wonderful stuff. Who knows? We know. We know. You know what they say? 2 is a coincidence, 6 is a consistent, systematic.
Yeah.
It's wonderful stuff. Let's end on a happier note. Christopher Guest, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you for letting me be
Sunglassed.
your Christopher Guest. Once again.
No, not happening. Not allowing it. Everybody can tune out. Everybody can drop off, but we're going to come up with a better tight ending.
How about you audio describe for the listeners what I'm about to do?
Don't leave. Don't leave. She takes her sunglasses off. Slowly, surely, efficiently. Stares into the camera. She salutes. With she salutes down, her left hand. She winks. That's the third form of goodbye. She stands, she leaves. She's wearing her AirPods, so she can still hear everything I'm saying. Until she goes into the kitchen, because AirPods sometimes break off. Have you ever noticed that sometimes your AirPods can do a whole 10 meters, but then suddenly you move 2 meters and they black out on you? Oh, God. I'll put that in my stand-up AirPod material. She comes in from another. Oh, God. Rhian just came in from the other side. Thank you, Rhian. We'll be seeing you again.
We do have fun.
We do. We'll see
Always
you
a
again.
pleasure.
Well, yes, it is. We'll see you.
Have
we'll
a
see you
good
again.
one.
Yes, we'll see you for waiting for Guffman.
Guffman.
Guffman, indeed.
Ba 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 ba.